Hey everybody, it's Megan from Harmony Restored, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. This flow chart, the Path to Radiant Living, this came to me a few months ago, and I have been so pumped to share this information with the world. I want to just go over it just a little bit to help you understand it a little bit more. The top of this flow chart, you see information input. Now this is all of the information that comes at us 24/7. This is Facebook feed, news, conversations with friends, all this information that's coming at us all the time in our busy lives. We only have so much control over this. This is kind of the part of our lives where we try to control a lot, but this is not where the control needs to be focused. So the things that you can do to help kind of shift the information input, if it's really negative, you need to shift it into the positive. So if you disconnect from Facebook, have time every day where you're not connected, turn off the news. It's really negative, so turn it off, don't watch it. Surround yourself, choose friends that are supportive and loving, surround yourself with those types of people. Things like releasing trapped emotions, dealing with grudges or forgiveness, having faith, all of those things are going to help with that information input. If you have a relationship in your life that is troubled, then deal with it so that is not continually coming back to you day in and day out. So then all of that comes into us every day. All of us have information coming at us, and it's the next step down on this chart is where we really have our control, is our thoughts. Now, a lot of times we've always thought we don't have a lot of control. Thoughts just pop into our heads. We don't know where they're coming from, but we do. We have a lot more control over this part of our life than we've realized. And this is the part of our life that really shifts everything, because from our thoughts, we create our emotions. And our emotions is where we're creating our experience. And that experience determines our life. Our physical health, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, everything you can think of has all come from a thought. So, and you've heard it before, change your thoughts and change your life. And we've heard all this, but sometimes we don't really understand A, how it works, and B, how to implement it. So that's what this flow chart and this video is I'm going to try and help you understand it a little bit more. So again, not a lot of control over the information input, but once you get to the thoughts, that's our key. That is the key to changing your life. Take, for example, scrolling through Facebook. So you're scrolling through, you see all these great pictures, and then you come across this news story that's just horrible, and maybe you relate to it somehow. It's about a kid, and something horrible happened to this child. You have a kid, and then all these emotions start coming, all these thoughts like, oh my gosh, what if that happens to my kid? What do I do? How do I prevent this? Our mind just starts going, right? Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. But I think for most of us, this is what happens. All of these thoughts start coming in, and this mind chatter starts, and then we get the emotions. Maybe it's fear. So we have all these kind of fearful thoughts come in. Then our mind is racing, our body's just, our blood's pumping, our adrenaline's going, we're just ramped up. Anxiety hits. Anxiety comes from those fearful thoughts. Then we start getting all this inflammation in our body, we're stressed out, and that funnels down to disease. So that is kind of the flow chart to disease, is fear or guilt. Now, guilt is kind of the depression side of the emotions. So it's that feeling of just being overwhelmed and kind of either just numbing out, I can't deal with this, it's too much. Just feeling drained, that energy of just feeling exhausted and drained, and that's what kind of pulls us down onto that depression side, that feeling of not good enough, I'm drained, I'm not doing enough. And that funnels down again, same like anxiety, to stress and disease. The other choice we have is to receive everything that comes to us with love. So choosing loving thoughts, that's where we change our thoughts to positive, change them to love, self-acceptance, compassion for ourselves and for other people. These are all choices that we make every day. So how do you change it though? Because a lot of times these thoughts do seem to just pop out of nowhere. one thing you can do is just bring awareness to it. So again, scrolling through Facebook and you see something, it triggers that feeling of not good enough in you. Just be aware, like, oh, I'm doing it again. This is this old pathway. Our brains, the way that our brains work is we create these neural pathways. And it's like you're outside, you've had a snowstorm, and you're digging, taking a shovel and digging a path to go to the mailbox. This is a path. These negative old thought patterns are paths that we have already dug out in our brains. So when we go outside to go get the mail the next day, it's really easy to just go right back down that same path because it's already cleared, it's comfortable, it's safe, it's not a lot of work, we don't have to clean out a new pathway. Same thing with our brains. We have these thoughts just come over and over and over because they're created, we've created these neural pathways. Just change it. So yeah, it's going to take a little muscle work, but you know what? You have to just dig a new path. And it's like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym once, unfortunately, and stay in shape for the rest of your life. You have to keep doing it. And it's the same thing with our thoughts. We're creating a new pathway. So you have to keep doing it over and over and over again. But before long, it's going to become your new pathway. And it's going to be really easy to just go down through that positive thought. So bringing awareness. So when some information comes in and it triggers fear or guilt, just being aware, oh, here's the situation. I have two choices. I can just, keep doing what I'm doing, or I can change and I can do something different here. So bringing awareness to it. Meditation is a great way to help retrain the brain. So just being still, being quiet, trying to control your thoughts for a few minutes instead of just letting things go, just kind of bringing it back to center. If it's hard for you to sit and not think about anything for 5 minutes, which it's tough for me, find some nice music to play or find a guided meditation CD, something that will help kind of guide your brain along to a more positive place. So doing that every day for a few minutes. Visualization. I've talked about this before in a blog post where we use our imagination to create new thoughts and to create new feelings in our body. And from that, we create our reality. So if you can take, just a few minutes a day and think about something new that you want. And maybe it seems really radical right now, and that's okay. Like maybe it's being healthy, and maybe it's having a great relationship with your spouse, or, your kids don't fight anymore. Maybe it's something totally crazy seeming, but create it. So go there in your mind, create this story, imagine getting better instead of just being stuck in the story of I'm sick and I'm trying to get better. Just be better for a minute and see what it feels like. How does that feel in your body? What do you look like? What are you doing with your life? And just imagine. That power of imagination is going to start creating our reality. And another thing you can do is affirmations. And these are just positive statements of things that you want. So, for example, something, maybe you're working on your health and you can say, your new belief statement, instead of I'm sick all the time, is my body is in a constant state of healing. Maybe that's what you want. And so write it on some pieces of, some sticky notes, put it in the bathrooms in your house, and every time you use the restroom, say it 3 times. And just think, what would it feel like to be in a constant state of healing? How great would that be? And just be there for a minute. Use visualization together with that affirmation just for a second. Feel it, get that emotion going in your body, that kind of excitement feeling of like, oh my gosh, that would be so amazing to feel that way. And it's going to start changing. So our bodies are extremely they're good servants. They will give us what we tell them. And so if we tell our bodies that we are healing now, that we're in a constant state of healing, might not do it 5 minutes after you say that the first time, but if you're consistent with it, it's going to shift things. So I'm so excited about this flowchart. This is the key to whatever wonderful thing that you are seeking after at this point, if it's, health or wealth or relationships, career, life purpose, whatever it is that you're looking for, or all of the above. This is the key, is you can see it right here. It's all laid out for you. The path to finding the health and the joy and the peace is just choosing loving thoughts. And it might seem simple, but why wouldn't it be? Why would it be complicated? We're here to thrive and we're here to enjoy our life. And It's not complicated. It's not supposed to be. So this goes way beyond diet. This goes way beyond supplements and exercise programs and all of these to-do lists that we give ourselves, you know, things that we have to do to be better or to feel good. This is way beyond that. And this is things that are completely in your control. And so I hope you have found this chart and this video helpful. Please let me know what questions you have. And if there's anyone in your life that you think could benefit from this information, please share, comment below. Let me know how you're going to implement this new information into your life. I'm so excited to hear from you, and all my best. Thanks.